Hi everyone, this is Mely. Welcome to my channel. Today I have my friend Marjo, and we are going to be just chatting. So this is the first time I'm using Zoom to do this type of interview. So we'll see how that goes. But Marjo is actually from France, and we'll get into
Yes.
how we met in a little bit. But do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I am 31 years old. I live in Marseille. It's in the south of France. And I'm really happy to make this video with you because we've talked about that so many times and we didn't really have the time to do it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah. And talking about, being connected on Zoom, we well, we met a while ago. I was trying to think
Yes.
about like, okay, when did, and it's been over 15 years that we've known each
I
other,
think yes.
which
Yes.
is pretty crazy. So we met on MySpace, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever told you like exactly the story, but I've always liked to meet people and learn about cultures. So on MySpace, I'm like, well, can I meet somebody from a different country? And I searched for France or in France, and I saw your profile. And this was like in middle school. I think we were
Yeah.
like 13 maybe. And I saw that you had something in writing in English. And so I'm like,
Yes.
oh, maybe she knows English. So,
Yeah.
so I messaged you, which I don't know if you remember like that. I don't know what we started talking about, but then we just chatted for a while. Then from
Yeah.
MySpace, I think I got your email. And then in college, we video chatted for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. I was living with my parents at the time, so I will show you the house tour,
Yeah.
how it was in France. And I think that all you could have seen all the differences between French houses and American ones, even if I don't really know how American houses are because I just went to the United States once, so I could see the differences, yes, between the American houses and the French houses, and yeah, I think I was really happy to talk with you in English because I was looking for someone whom I could talk in English,
Yeah.
because I wanted to practice, I wanted to improve my English, even if it's not perfect, because I am still looking for words in English. I don't know everything, but I think it's fine because I can hold a conversation and I think you can understand
Yeah.
what I say. So, and I think I've got a little bit, I got an accent maybe. I don't hear me
Yeah.
speaking in English, but it's cool. Yeah.
I do remember that tour. And I think you had a dog. Do you still have that?
Yeah,
Have a
yeah,
dog?
I have a dog. It's a beagle.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And it was crazy because I never thought about I thought about like meeting in person, but it didn't click like,
Yeah.
oh, and now we can chat. And I think we chatted through video messenger or Facebook Messenger at that time.
Yeah, I think it was with Skype too,
Mhm. Yeah.
something like that. Yes.
Yeah. And then I remember thinking, I'm like, oh, we've talked for so long. I'm like, what if it isn't her? Which it wouldn't make sense because all your information matched, but I was still a little bit nervous that I'm like, okay, what if we get on video chat and we don't click like we have? Um,
Yes.
because it was cool. One thing that I've liked about our friendship is that we're so far away from each other, but
Yeah.
we can still chat about different things. I mean, we've chatted about boyfriends and, school, and it's nice to have a friend, but that's not in it with you. Like, like you're from like an outsider perspective, but you're still my friend. So that piece was nice. Being able to
Yeah.
connect. Yeah.
Yes.
But it's been a long time, and hopefully I've been wanting to go to France for a while, but
Yeah. I
um
know.
I always put it off, but I have it on my bucket list because we have to meet in person someday.
Yes. Absolutely. We need to. We need to.
Yeah.
Because we've known each other for 15 years and we've never met. So
Yeah.
It's a shame. We should try to meet, even if we are very far away from each other, so it's not easy. And I went to the United States in 12, 16, I think. It was a long time ago now, because I got friends who live in Kansas City. So I went to Kansas City for New Year's Eve, I remember. And you told me we could meet. And the thing is that it was very expensive. Like the plane was very expensive, and it was far away, because when you want to go, like, I live in Marseille, and if I want to go in Paris, it's just 1 hour and 30 minutes to go by plane. And if you want to go in the United States from the east to the west or whatever, it can be so long
Yeah.
and so expensive. no so it's crazy for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's quite expensive over here. When you visited Kansas City, what is one thing that stood out to you when you got to the US, and, like the first difference in culture that you noticed, or something that we do that you're like,
um
oh, that's weird.
I think it's when I went to Target, the supermarket, because everything was so huge. I've never seen in my life like the milk bottles like that, like orange juice bottles. Because if we compare with France, we the bottles are really small, you
Oh,
know. And then when I saw that you got orange juice with a bottle that is one, I don't remember, 5 liters
yeah, it's
or
a
something.
gallon. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, a gallon. Yeah, I don't know how to yeah, but it was so funny. And the vegetables and the fruits corner was very small, because in France it's bigger. You can have a lot of choices, and I was shocked by the prices of the vegetables, the fruits. That's so expensive. I
Yeah.
mean, it's crazy. And the supermarket was very big. Like, I've never seen that in my whole life. I was like, okay. And when I went to Kansas City in the center, I never seen in my life buildings like that. So I was like, oh wow, okay, it's so big. The buildings are so big. So yeah, I think that was the things that I could say. And when I went to the cinema, I saw on the door a fire gun with you can't carry your fire
Oh
gun in
yeah.
the cinema. And I was like, okay, it's weird, because in France it's forbidden to carry a fire gun. You know what I mean? So, and I was very surprised, and I really like talking with American people because they are really, really nice. And I remember I was at the bowling, and there was this guy. I was outside because I needed some fresh air, and the guy came to me and say, uh, "You're not American." And I told him, "How could you tell that? Because you don't look American." And I was, okay. And how do I look? I was like normal. And he told me, "I think you are from Europe or something like that." And I said, "Yeah, guess where I come from." And he said, "I think you're from Italy." And I said, close. But I know that when I go to a foreign country, a lot of people think that I am Italian because I got Italian origin. So I don't know if you can see that I am Italian. And I say, yeah, I am French. And it was so funny. He told me, "Oh, I know Paris, La Côte d'Azur." And we talked speaking about that, and that was pretty cool.
I haven't been to France, as you know. How would you describe your town or the place that you live? So if somebody said, "Oh,
Ah,
like I want to visit, why should I visit Marseille?" Um,
okay,
and
okay, okay.
you've lived there all your life, right? Were you born in
Uh,
Marseille?
Well, I don't live in the center of Marseille. I live in a little city called Marignane. If you come to Marseille, you will go at the airport in Marignane. It's not in the center of Marseille, but I was born in Marseille. Yeah, so I am Marseillaise, as we say. It's how you call people who live in Marseille. Marseillaise and Marseillais. I would say that I really like Marseille because you've got the sea there. If you want to go to swim, you've got the sea. Do I pronounce it properly? It's sea?
Yeah.
Okay, the sea. And there are so many amazing places in Marseille. It's Marseille is huge. It's like a huge city. The people are really nice, really. And the food is typical. There is a fish soup called la bouillabaisse. You could see that on Google. La bouillabaisse. It's a typical type of food in Marseille, and it's good if you like fish and soup. That's really good. We have amazing museums in Marseille. We've got an amazing architecture here. And the thing is that what I don't like about it, it's if you how can I say that? If you watch TV and you want to know about Marseille, and that's true, they will tell you that there are a lot of drug traffic, unfortunately. There are some quarters in Marseille when you've got drug dealers and a young girl was shot when she was in her bedroom, just because someone just stopped by her place and shot in her apartment, and she was for nothing, so it's such a shame. And there are a lot of drug traffic, and there is a lot of insecurity in Marseille. I would say that it's amazing place, but on the contrary, sometimes when I go to Marseille and when I go in some streets, I'm like, okay, is someone following me? Or I just look at my bag if it's closed because of the pickpockets. I studied in Marseille for 1 year when I was 20 years old, something like that. And nothing has ever happened to me. Nothing. So I think you must be maybe you must have bad luck, you know what I mean, when it happens to you.
So there are areas where you shouldn't go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Here, well, I live in like the middle of nowhere in Washington, but we have Seattle that's nearby. A lot of people know Seattle and Washington, and it's the biggest city. And it's similar. There are areas where you shouldn't go. There are areas where I mean, some of them are, I mean, we've been having a lot of issues with people who are doing drugs and doing it publicly.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of that, but there are areas, especially in bigger cities, where you want to just stay away. But of course, there's nice things that you can go and do and see. What is one thing that, because you were talking about food, and I like to, I like food. What is one thing that is like a staple? So you talked about the soup, the fish. So what other things are staples? Like if somebody went to France, or to Marseille, what's the things that you would recommend? So, in Mexico, we're known for, or I guess it's more of a stereotype, but Mexicans are known for tacos, tamales. Those are like things that we know how to do well according to society. What are those things that you think people should definitely try if they were in France?
Well, in Marseille, there are a lot of restaurants with you've got Indians restaurants, you've got Arabic restaurants, you've got Turkish restaurants, you've got Italian restaurants, French foods. Uh, I the kebab, you know,
Mhm.
you know what is it? It's the
That's
same
the one
word.
on the stick, right?
That's meat in like I don't know how to say that in English. Like a crepe,
Oh, see,
but
we
it's not
have
really a crepe. I don't know how to say it's kebab. I mean, I don't know how to translate that.
like
Um,
pastry, but with meat.
yes, but no, it's not. Okay, just let me show
We
you.
have a thing called a kebab, but it is
Yeah,
like a
yes.
stick, and it has on the stick they just put meat, veggies. They had a bunch of different things, and then they put it on the barbecue.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's different than what I was thinking, but it's kind of like a taco kind of thing.
Yeah, yes, but the bread is not the same.
Uh-huh.
It's a typical bread. And there are others specialities. There are les panis in
What?
Marseille. No,
Yeah.
it's not the word that you are thinking about. I know what you're thinking. No, it's not. It's panis.
Funny.
Um, panis. It's
Like a bread.
I would tell you, and it's with flour,
Flour. Yeah.
flour, and oh, I don't know how to say that. Just tell me. Just let me translate that English. Chickpeas.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
Yes, it's made with flours and chickpeas, and it's amazing. And it's a specialty in Marseille because I don't really know how to describe it. It looks like that, and it's so good.
Oh, okay. So whoever's watching this video, they can put that on their list. Um,
Yes,
if they
that's
ever.
really good. And there are so many uh, quarters in Marseille. It's You can go to Le Panier. Le Panier is in Marseille. It's a very famous place now. There are a lot of arts. You can see drawings on the walls. You know, you can see pictures, expositions. Um, you can see flowers. You can. I love this quarter. That's amazing. And there is the Vieux Port. It's the port in Marseille. And it's very famous in Marseille. If you go to Marseille, you need to go to see the Vieux Port. And they are les calanques. Les calanques in Marseille is like big rocks
Hmm.
where you can jump and go in the water.
Oh, okay. Like cliff jumping. That's what I think
Yeah,
what we used to
maybe.
call it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. And that's really amazing. I love Marseille, but I love Marseille, but there is insecurity in Marseille right now. And it was not the same because, like I said, I have studied in Marseille 10 years ago, and it has changed about the insecurity right now. We could see that there is so much more insecurity. And it's a shame for the city because it's a beautiful city and it broke my heart because I am from Marseille,
Mhm.
you know. So, but if you want to go to the south, you need to see Marseille. There are a lot of tourists in July and August. A lot of Italian people, Spanish, English, German people. There are a lot of tourists in Marseille. Yeah. And the weather is so much better than in Paris. Even if in Paris it's really hot
Mhm.
in the summer, but in Marseille it's amazing because you get to see, so you can go to the beach, you can you know, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, nice destination. You also mentioned that everybody's pretty friendly there.
Yeah.
What's one thing that, which is it's nice, you know, there's some I've when I'm on TikTok and I follow some people that have traveled and you know, they mention sometimes like, oh, I visited this place and like people were not very friendly. And I visited this other
Yeah.
place and some people don't, you know, they either don't like tourists or they don't like new people. But what are things like what are things that you have heard about French people, like stereotypes that you think like, well, that's not true about us?
Ah, about American or French people?
French people. So is there something that you've heard that people say, you know, maybe on the internet, like, oh, French people are all mean? Like that you
Yeah,
could
I
be
have
like,
heard
well, that's
that
not
French.
true about us.
Yes, I've heard a lot that people think that French people are rude. I don't think that we are more rude than other people. You know, I think it depends who you talk to. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because I think that there are mean people in the United States, mean people in Italy, mean people in France. You know, it depends where you go. But I think that, and it depends the region in France. I must say that if you go in Paris, I went to Paris many times, and the people were not very friendly. Oh my god, if some people from Paris are going to watch the video, they are going to hate me, but it's true, guys. Sorry. So I think, yeah, I don't think that all French people are rude first. Then I've heard that people think we are not very clean, like we don't take showers or something like that. I was like, I'm showering every day. What do you mean? You know, I'm showering twice a day. So what do you mean, you know, about that? And I've heard that a lot of people think that we smoke a lot, and I am an ex-smoker, so I can say that no, it's not true because I was smoking, and now I vape. You know, just to quit the cigarettes. So I just vape, and I was surprised when I went to the United States because there are smoking areas
Mhm.
in the streets. You know, you can't smoke everywhere, but
Right.
in France you can smoke everywhere. You can smoke wherever you want.
Mhm.
But and yeah, I know you know the cigarette butt. You know how to say that?
Yeah.
It's the word. Yeah, and a lot of people put that on the floor. So sometimes it's dirty in the streets
Mhm.
because they don't put that in the trash. So yeah, it's a shame for it. But yes, French people smoke, and you can smoke everywhere. So
Mhm.
I think that was the difference between um, American and French when I went to the United States. And I know that you can't smoke in front of a restaurant in the United States. It's like forbidden. I don't know.
You have in certain areas you have to be a certain amount away from the building. So you have to be
Yeah.
like 20 feet away. Or I don't know what it is, but usually it's a certain distance. Yeah. Yeah, because they don't want the restaurant to smell. Um, and not everybody smokes. So we can only smoke inside, like in the casinos. There are some casinos that you can still smoke inside, but other ones you can't.
Okay. Yeah, it's the same. There is a casino near to my place where you can smoke inside. There is a smoking area and a non-smoking area in the casino. So I think maybe it's the same. But yeah, you can smoke everywhere you want. I mean, in the street.
Yeah.
And sometimes it bothers other people who don't smoke. So they're like, oh, it stinks or something like that, you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
we are smokers, French people. But not everyone in France smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, just to tell that. And what about you? What do you think about the stereotypes that you could hear about American people? What did you hear about
I
it?
don't know so much as what people say
Yeah.
about Americans, that were mean, that were rude, that were fat. I think that's a big one, that we're all overweight, which we do have a lot of obese people. I think more than any other place I went. So I think that's true. Not everybody's fat, but or obese, but we do have a lot.
Yeah, yes, that's why I was thinking about when I went to the United States. I could see that there were a lot of obese people. I bought some clothes in the United States, and when I looked at the size, I was like, "But I'm mistaken. That's not my size." And actually, it was. You know, I bought a pullover and I took XS, and in France, my size is medium. You know, the big difference. So I think that's yes, that's the case. And when you go to McDonald's, I think that the quantity
Yeah, the quantity.
the quantity of food that you have in the United States is not the same, because I think in France it's smaller, maybe.
We are very unhealthy, back to, the McDonald's and the portions. I think that's probably something that people say, Americans are very unhealthy, and I think that's very true. Um, and of course, I know people are going to watch this video and be like, oh, that's not true about everybody. But we do have very unhealthy habits. I don't think we prioritize, like walking or eating healthy vegetables and all. To eat healthy, it's also very expensive. If you want to eat like vegetables and fruits and things like that. So that can, be a hindrance.
I don't include myself in that because it's not really true, but um, a lot of people think that Americans people are dumb because they don't know a lot of at school, you know.
Mhm.
When you ask someone like where is France in the world, where is Spain, where is, and most of people don't know that, you know what I mean. So we think that American people just think about America and not all over the world. So, and I know that the studies in the United States is very expensive. If you want to have a master degree or something like that, that's really expensive. And in France, I have never paid for my studies. I have been paid to study
Yeah.
because I was working at the same time. It's when it's called alternance in France. I think it's like a trainee thing. I don't know exactly the translation, but it's when you go to school and you can study at the same time, and the company pays you for what you do.
Mm.
You know, I don't know if it does exist in the United States, if you can do that.
Um, Not really. I mean, there are places, like it's very specific to the organization or the company if they help you pay for school, but it's not a general
Okay.
thing. Um, Again, not speaking for all Americans, but I have met people. I don't know if the right word is like uncultured, but I could see where you said, oh well, people don't really think about outside of America.
Yeah.
Um, because I'm from a small town and people don't want to leave. They don't want to travel. They don't want to really learn. They're just like, it's their bubble. This is what they're doing. I've met a lot of people that have never, left the country. Um, I always like to, I like to travel. I want to learn. I want to know about cultures, but I do think people kind of stay in their bubble, I guess. Those are kind of bad things, but
Yeah.
we do have, I mean, I guess one of the nice things is that we do have so many, which it sounds like, I mean, France does as well. We have so many people from different places, different countries that come here. So that's pretty nice. But of course, you have to be open to it, or you have to be, in where I come from, the little town, the majority of people are Mexican. And a lot of them are from like the same towns or country or states in Mexico. So if you stay there, you really never experience much. You know, because the same people that grow up there, their kids stay there. And
What I
on
mean,
that note, we have about less than a minute
yeah.
because you know how we have a time limit on Zoom. So I think we can wrap it up here. Thank you for joining me. It's about what, 5 o'clock? It's almost 9 o'clock here.
Thank.
Um,
Yes.
yeah, so but I look forward to doing, I know we're both like creative people. We can do another um, interview or like another topic. I've been
Of
wanting to do
course.
one like on self-care since it's National Self-Care Month here.
Yeah.
I think it'd be cool to, you know, chat about what we do to take care of ourselves.